Today I'm going to show you guys how to do 3-color glitter ombre. Hey guys, Liz Morris from the Nail Hub, and today I am going to show you guys how to do this really pretty 3-color glitter gel ombre. This is actually from the new Summer Squeeze collection, and I actually jumped the gun and I already opened my package. I couldn't help myself. But this is the Light Elegance Summer 2020 Summer Squeeze collection. It's got really, really pretty colors in it. So today I'm going to show you guys how I did this 3-color ombre with the colors that are in the collection. I'm going to do it over hard gel. Okay, so this is also one of the things that I feel like there's not really good clear instructions on how to use potted hard gel colors. Like when you hear the term potted hard gel color, a lot of people are like, what the F is that? Because we're so used to bottled products that when we look at jars, we're like, what do I do with this? And the confusing thing for a lot of people when they first get in with Light Elegance products, as far as professionals are concerned, it's a hard gel color, which means you can't soak it off. So that's also why people get really confused. So I'm going to show you today how to use the hard gel products over an artificial nail, because that's kind of the way that they were built. And then in my next video, I'm going to also show you guys how you can do it with soak off product so that you can be able to soak off whatever you have underneath it. Okay. So let's start with the base color. So there's 6 colors and 6 glitters in the collection, and I used these 3 to create this look. So this is like, I got this inspiration from, I was Googling tequila sunrise cocktails and other like summery cocktails, and I came across the Marley Cocktail, and it looks just like this. It's so pretty. And I saw these colors, I was like, these colors are perfect, totally gonna do this. So I used Sublime Lime, Sunkissed, and Dragon Fruit, and then for the glitter over top, I used Kiwi to My Heart, Bad Banana, and I used the Fruit Snax Pink. These are so, so pretty. So let me show you the glitters. Oh my gosh. I mean, come on, crazy cute. Okay, and then here's the colors. This color actually looks a little red, and actually my camera's picking up pretty accurately what it looks like, but it actually looks like this. It's like a pinky kind of color. So it's kind of one of those colors that looks a lot different on the nail than it does in person. Okay, so here's all the gels. I'm just going to move these out of the way so that I can show you how to apply. And also the other thing, because Light Elegance is a hard gel color glitter line, a lot of times it will add some thickness to your nail as you're using it. So what you want to do is, if you have your hard gel base or whatever base that you've got going on, you want to keep it nice and thin. So I'm doing an artificial nail. I'm keeping my apex really low, and I'm keeping the actual extension very, very thin because I want to have room to be able to apply the color and the glitter without making this super duper duper bulky. So I'm going to do that. All right, so I like to start with the top color. I don't know why, I just do. I'm just going to use my, my Light Elegance gel polish brush. This is actually the one that I typically use for glitter, but I can use it for color. It doesn't matter. It's more about keeping glitter out of your color brushes than it is about using your glitter brushes for color. So I'm just going to put a little bit of color on my brush like this. When we're using the glitter gels, you don't need a lot of color gel behind it to really make it pop. And the whole reason why you would want to put color underneath the glitter is the glitter is very high coverage, but the color also helps fill in any spots where the glitter might be a little bit thinner, and it also really helps to make it look clean, so you can control the application a little bit better by doing that. I'm just going to shift my chair just a teeny bit so I can do this without being so awkward. Sometimes doing my own nails is just such an awkward position. Okay, so I'm just going to put a nice thin layer. Again, this is just kind of like as a background color. I don't want to create any bulk. I'm not worried about getting color payoff. I'm just worried about getting some color in the background so that when I go to put my glitter on, it just pops even more, okay? And then you can also kind of randomly just streak that down because we're going to add the colors as we go. And you can see it's starting to look a little bit more pink like the other ones on camera now that I got this on. Okay, then I'm going to wipe off my brush and I'm going to move forward with the next color. We're just going to do wet next to wet. So again, kind of just press rather than trying to polish it on or paint it on. Just kind of press the color. That's the easiest way to do side by side. And then we're going to smush this all together at the very end before we cure. And again, just enough color to evenly coat so that you've got a nice even background. And then you're going to wipe off your brush. And then I'm going to go forward with the green, Sublime Lime. And since we're working on the free edge of the nail, again, you want to keep it as thin as possible because we don't want to make a super thick tip on the end of our nail. Okay, so you might have spaces in between, totally fine. Wipe off your same brush. And then all I do really is just go back and like tap in between the colors. And you can even go kind of up and down. It's going to make it look really messy, but we don't care because the glitter is going to diffuse that. We just want to make sure that they're kind of blended together and there's no gaps. Wipe off your brush before you move into the next colors. And then just, again, tap. You can kind of go up and down, tap, tap, tap. I feel like I'm almost doing like Bob Ross trees right now. Little happy tree. Okay. And then if you have any bulk, like right here, I've got a little nubbin of yellow. I'm just going to pull that back so I don't have any like big bulbous spot. Because if you have a bulbous spot on your base layer, it's going to get thicker as you apply everything else. So see how it's just kind of mushy, messy. Totally fine. Go ahead and cure this for the 30 seconds in an LED or 2 minutes in ACFL. Okay, so now we have that base color on, and we're going to put our glitter over top of that. So I'm just going to use the same brush that I have dedicated to glitter. I always put glitter on the ends of my brushes that are the glitter version because I own multiples of the same shape and size. But I want to make sure I don't get glitter in my color brushes because that is really annoying when you try and go and do a nice solid color and you've got pieces of glitter sticking in it, okay? So I'm going to start with the Fruit Snax, which is the pink glitter gel. And again, you're just going to put some on like one side of your brush. Just press it. And really what you're doing is you're just trying to concentrate it mainly around the cuticle area and just gently guide it into place. Don't press too hard because then you're going to end up just making this really wide, flared out mess. And you can add a little bit as you go. I'm just going to put a little bit here, and then I'm just going to drag this down a little bit over the yellow, just a little bit, just like we did before, because we're going to mush these two glitter gels together, okay? So you want to have enough products on the nail that you're able to move the product around, okay? So there's my pink glitter. And I can even do maybe a teensy bit more just right in here. And again, the cool thing about these glitter gels, you can see they're not like gel polish. They're more like a thin builder gel viscosity, and they really sit still, which is nice. And so I can create part of my structure as I'm using these products because they are hard gels. So that is, you know, it's one of the kind of unnerving things about starting with hard gels, especially when you're working with hard gel colors because it's something that's not as common anymore. But I actually really like this because I'm able to create strength while I'm applying all of my different layers. So now I'm going to move forward with the Bad Banana glitter. Okay. So I've got some just on one side of my brush. Again, just put it next to, you don't have to worry about mixing them just yet. Just put it next to, just push it onto the nail, just kind of spread it out. You can go back for more if you need to. And that's why when people, you know, talk about gel polish or gel nails or nail polish, I'm like, you know, gels vary a lot. It's not just like nail polish. There's actually quite a bit to it, and that's why I like explaining all of these things so you guys are able to understand what the nuances are. Okay, so there's the yellow. And again, it doesn't look as blended as these do, and we're going to fix that at the very end. And then last but not least, we're going to go in with our Kiwi to My Heart. A little bit less this time because we're on the very end of the nail. Concentrating it mainly, when I apply it, I'm concentrating it mainly in the center, and I'm just kind of pushing it towards the edges. And again, that background color that we have, even if I don't have perfect glitter coverage, the background color is really going to help make it look like it's perfect coverage. So it allows you to keep areas thin while you're working, which I really like. Okay, so there's the 3 colors on the nail. I'm going to wipe off my brush again. I don't typically scrape back into my jar when I'm doing this because you can sometimes get way too much product going on. And then I'm just going to take this off here because I've got a little hump. Get that off. Okay, so same thing. I'm just going to take my brush, clean brush, and just kind of squiggle, squiggle, squiggle back and forth. You can even use like a dotting tool for this if you want, if you like, you know, maybe like a metal stylus or something, spatula, whatever. Oh, get off here. There we go. Okay. So just pull up and down and mix those 2 glitters together and just kind of fade the 2. And because we have that background color on there too, it'll also start to help to blend everything. And then I'm also going to do that for the yellow and the green. And then at the very end before I cure, I like to just make sure everything looks nice and clean. Okay, so there's my more blended ombre, and you'll see, like, you can see the glitters moving into one another. You can blend it as much as you like. You can blend it as little as you like, however you want to do it. You can even do it where the blend is on a diagonal. Maybe it's not straight across. Maybe it's on the bias, which is kind of cool. And then it's so hot in my studio right now that I'm making a mess on this side by leaning that way. So I'll just clean that up. Okay, so I like to look at it just from the top, make sure there's like no weird lumps or bumps that are sticking out on the shape. I can just pull this down just a little bit like that. Also check from the side, make sure you don't have like way too much product on the end or way too much product at the cuticle. And then you're going to go ahead and cure this one more time. Okay, so I have my cured nail here. Now, you'll notice it still doesn't have perfect structure, right? It's still kind of flat. Definitely doesn't have a nice apex like my other nails do. So we have a couple of different options. If you have a lot of product that you need to add, I would recommend you reach for a builder gel. Like Light Elegance One Step is a really good one because it also cures shiny. I like thinner ones, but you can use pretty much any builder gel in the lineup of the Light Elegance products. If you don't have that much to do, like let's say it's really close and you just need to perfect it a little bit, you can also use a top coat, like super shiny. This label's a little bit different than the typical ones because this is a sample one that I had from a while back. But Light Elegance Super Shiny is awesome, and you can basically, you know, use your top coat to float over the surface before you do that. And I'll show you also that you can finish file over the color in order to make sure it's perfect, perfect, perfect before you are done, okay? So I am going to just reach for one of the builder gels, and I am going to reach for also one of my clean brushes. Where are you here? That I use for clear gel. This is the Light Elegance number 4 oval. So it's a little bit smaller, but this one I only use for clear gel, and that way I won't get like any weird colors or anything going on in my clear layer over top. I'm going to do my wet layer, aka slip layer, over the entire surface. This is going to allow everything to self-level really nicely, just like that, okay? And then I'm going to go back and grab a bead. And my bead now is what I'm going to use to make that nice apex. So I'm going to focus it mainly in this area where I'm lacking product. So I'm just going to walk this down. If I run out, I can go back and grab a little bit more. And I really like these thinner type viscosities like One Step because it just self-levels really quickly. So you're not waiting for, you know, you're not having to go back and mush it around. It just self-levels on its own. So you can see like I'm able to get like a nice apex going, okay? And then I like to, on my own nails, I like to turn my hand upside down, which is really hard for me to show you on camera. But basically what I do is I just turn my finger upside down, and then with my brush I can also guide the gel into place if I need to. Okay, there is my cured nail with the builder gel on top, and you can see I was able to put a nice apex on here. And then at this point what I can do is I can clean my nail with my gel cleanser, or if you have isopropyl alcohol, I like to throw a little bit of acetone in my isopropyl alcohol. I've shown that in the past on my gel cleanser video. Just make sure it's nice and squeaky clean. Okay, and then I can finish file this nail into perfection. You're going to do it very gently because you don't want to remove the color, but since we put clear gel over the top, it's going to actually make it very easy for you to finish file. So if you want to thin out like your free edge a little bit, whatever you want to do, you can do that. And sometimes I like to go back and just perfect the sidewalls and the shape before I move forward. Because as we're applying product, it just tends to change the shape as we go. And so you can absolutely just go through and lightly fix the shape and thin areas and all of that. The way we're able to do this is, number one, we're encapsulating the product with clear gel, which means we're filing on the clear layer, not on the color. And also because we were careful to make sure that we kept the areas where we want to keep it thin, like the free edge and the cuticle area, you keep those thin as you're working so that when you do go to encapsulate, then you don't end up filing through your clear into your color. Okay, so you kind of have to keep everything in mind as you move forward when you're encapsulating stuff, especially encapsulating color. Otherwise, if I had left that, if you guys remember I had that little like hump here, if I had left that hump of color, kept going, obviously at the end I'm going to want to change that shape, and I would have filed right through that, and I'd have this weird bald patch that I'd have to go back and patch. Now, if you do file through, let's say you're learning how to do this, you file through your color and your glitter, what the heck do you do? Just file everything a little bit thinner and just add more. I mean, the cool thing about gel products and acrylic products and nails is that it's not like nail polish where you have to get it perfect on the first try or you have to start over. The cool thing about gel that I love is once it's cured and clean, you can file it all the way back down again if you want to, and then you can restructure, rebuild, add more, take away, whatever. So it adds a lot of flexibility to be able to essentially, be able to fix any mistake that there is. Because I could literally file this nail all the way thin again and just patch up whatever areas I need to. I've still got that base layer at the very bottom, and then I can re-encapsulate and you'd never know that I made a mistake, okay? So you can see like right here on the side, see that? Like that's what I'm talking about where you start to file through. But if you file through in the middle or like the tip or something, absolutely you can do that. And sometimes even just you have a little bit of gel left on your brush, you just go back, touch it up, and then you can put your top coat on. But this looks pretty dang. So let me clean this for you so you can see. So that's what it looks like finished filed, okay? And actually matte, I actually kind of like this whole ombre glitter thing matte too because it just looks really cool. But I'm going to go ahead and put my top coat on. So I'm going to finish with Light Elegance's top coat, which is super shiny. They also have their top gloss, which is like a no cleanse, but I love super shiny the most. It's just an awesome, awesome product. Or if you had, something like One Step or Manicure that cures shiny, you could also use that for your top coat. Basically, top coat is just a gel that really doesn't adhere to the natural nail. It's just meant to create a shiny finish. So any gel that has a shiny finish to it, usually you can use as top coat. Okay. So just like that, give it a second to self-level, check from the side, just make sure you don't have any lumps or bumps, and then you're going to cure super shiny for a full minute in your lamp, your LED lamp, or 2 minutes in a CFL. I'm going to put 30 seconds on here, but it's actually a full minute for super shiny, and it says so on the bottle as well. Okay, all cured, ready to go. Now I'm just going to cleanse off the inhibition layer, that sticky layer that's left over. And you just want to really scrub it. Don't push it up onto your finger, but just scrub, 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 and pull down. And you can even scrub just on top of the nail. You can see I'm not pushing it up on the skin. I'm just doing it right on the nail. You just want to make sure you get that all off. Because when you don't get all the inhibition layer off, it'll make your nails look dull and streaky. So make sure that you get it completely off, and then they'll be perfectly glossy, shiny, pretty. Okay? So this is 3-color glitter ombre with the new Summer Squeeze collection, which I just absolutely adore. These colors make me so happy. And then you're just going to finish with a little bit of cuticle oil. So just drop a little bit on there. Rub that in. And then if you want to, what you can do is let this soak in. You can even put hand lotion on after. Make sure you also get underneath your nail too. Okay. And then if you want, what you can do is you can buff the skin a little bit with a clean wipe. My friend Selena does this, which I love because it just gets off all the excess oil without taking it off your skin. We're not cleansing it with cleanser. We're just taking off the excess. You can see I still have a nice amount of oil in my cuticle walls and still underneath as well. So that is my little 3-color glitter gel ombre fade for you guys, really quick and easy. And again, because we started with a nice thin enhancement, we didn't add a ton of bulk. So you're going to end up with a really nice shape, really nice apex. And this is, you know, a really amazing product to work with if you like working with potted products, and also it's just nice to be able to add strength to the nail as you're working on it. So I hope you guys like this tutorial, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.